Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the forecast for each life path number for the month of March 2025. Before we get into the forecast, this is a general forecast. If you would like your own personal numerology, in where we'll take a look at the numbers of your charts, your forecast, all of the good things, then please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and I would love to work with you. All right, let's take a look at what March has in store. Life path number 5, you are going to be working with the vibration of the 8 for March, and this is a powerhouse type of energy to be working with. So this is a really big cycle for you all. When I think about the 8 cycle, I mean, this is sort of a shorter cycle for you all, but it's a month long. So, a lot can happen in that month. But when I think about the 8 cycle, really it brings in opportunities for greater empowerment, right? Greater opportunities to take risks and to learn from those risks, right? Because a lot of times when we're talking about 8 energy, there can be really big wins and there can be really big losses, but both are beneficial. And hear me out, because the losses hold wisdom, right? And so if we have, let's say we take a risk and that risk does not pay off, and instead it leaves us with some kind of a loss, we're able to, if we can get our head about us, we are able to look at that loss and sort of dissect it and see, okay, what did work and what did not work? And if it, whatever it is that did not work, then we release that, right? We don't continue to build on that. We don't continue to move in that direction. What did work, we can now take that and we can build on that. And eventually we'll get to that high. And that risk will eventually pay off. It'll just take us reworking it, right? Looking at it from a different perspective, taking a different approach. And that risk can be, anything in life, however this shows up for you. But there is power and a sense of empowerment in trusting yourself and trusting the universe enough to be able to take that risk in the first place. This is a month where you will likely have to make decisions that can feel risky. But remember, you are the manifester. And manifestation truly is about having a vision, having a goal, and then putting in the effort to achieve that goal. Like manifestation, I'm not going to go too deeply into manifestation. I have a whole podcast about it if you want to watch it. But truly, especially when we're talking about 8 energy, the manifestation that you have the power to manifest this month is about, again, having the idea, having the vision, and then being steadfast in that vision, having, taking the effort, having the focus, having the tenacity to empower yourself to move towards that vision, right? To call on the people who can help you to achieve it, to recognize where you have limitations, to be willing to take the risk that's needed in order to achieve it, to move with the ups and the downs. And there will always be ups with 8 energy and there will always be downs. But again, they kind of work in tandem to help us to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. We cannot achieve really anything without taking some kind of a risk. Sometimes those risks are low stakes, sometimes they're high stakes. And we just have to determine for ourselves whether that risk is worth it, right? Whether it's going to be worth that high, or if we can recover from that low. We can always recover from the low, but sometimes it takes, a lot of effort and a lot of time, et cetera, et cetera. So again, this could show up in relationships. It could show up in career. It does have to do with the material plane because it's an 8 energy, but, that can also influence your relationships in some way. And when we're talking about power dynamics, that can absolutely influence your relationships. So this might be a month where you have a really shitty boss and who treats you really poorly. And you decide you want to take the risk and speak up for yourself, right? Or look for a different job or, put yourself out there for something different. That's a risk. But that risk will, even though it might be uncomfortable in the process, it will pay off because it will put you in a different situation. That might take a little while, but do you see what I'm saying? So you will likely have to look at or you don't even have to like seek it out. It will find you this month wherever there are power struggles, power dynamics, where you are giving your power away, where you need to step into your power a little bit more. You'll be confronted with that this month. You'll be faced with that this month. And it's up to you to take that risk. It can be a calculated risk, right? Do your due diligence, etc. But this energy is reminding you of the powerhouse that you are, right? And what you're worthy of, and what your values are, what you'll put up with and what you won't put up with. And recognizing that, when we take a risk, it doesn't always turn out the way we planned for it to, but whatever way it turns out, there's something of value there that we can learn from, that we can build on, whatever we need to do in order to get to that higher octave. So really powerful energy. You could definitely see people come out of the woodwork this month that want to take advantage of you, want to manipulate you in some way, have control over you in some way, whether it's subtle or just quite direct. And it's up to you how you choose to handle that, right? Like how you choose to participate. But this energy pushes us to remember our own power, to remember our value and our worth, and to remember what we're capable of, especially as a 5. 5s are meant to experience life with all your senses. You are meant to be the progressive freedom seeker. You're meant to be unconventional and ahead of the curve. You're meant to be using your big ideas and creating change in this world. And the 8 energy, when you move through an 8 cycle, can help you to do that and be very successful at it. Because again, it pushes you to come out from the shadows, use your voice, stand up for yourself, and step into that to your own personal power. And you can find a tremendous amount of influence there, success, just all of the things. So, and it can be very freeing, very, very freeing. So this can be a month where there will likely be ups and downs, right? I'm currently in an 8 year, and a big part of an 8 big cycle is that there are moments that are just big wins, but then there's moments where the rug is just ripped out from underneath you and it's a loss. And you just have to, instead of getting stuck there, you've got to figure out how to pick yourself up and try again. So there could be times this month where it feels like the rug just got ripped out from underneath you. And it's not a failure. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just you have to figure out how to pick yourself back up, try again, and don't let it deter you from not taking a risk in the future, because that's the only way that you're going to progress and evolve, and be able to step into your true 5 energy, which is that progressive thinker, that change agent of the world. So really powerful energy this month. Whatever you do this month, make sure you do it with integrity. Whatever your why is, make sure there's integrity behind it, because if it's lacking in integrity, then whatever you build this month will likely crumble next month. It's that kind of energy. But if you've got integrity behind it and it's not just self-serving or solely self-serving, you'll likely see great success come from whatever it is that you initiate this month. Beautiful energy for launching something, for calling in or asking for assistance, especially financial assistance this month, or investors, etc. Beautiful energy for getting assistance from people in higher places. And higher, I just mean they're in a position to be able to help you with something that you don't have access to. And the only thing I would say is whatever comes from this month, especially if it's great success or great power or influence or status, make sure that you use that to help open the door for someone else who doesn't have access for that. Because the beauty of being in an 8 cycle, especially when we look back on that 8 cycle, is to see the doors that were open for us so that we can recognize where we can open doors for others now once we get to that point. So beautiful energy here. Take the risk. You can recover from it, whatever it is. I mean, you have to decide that, but I don't know your situation. But anything you do, you can always shift gears and recover from if it doesn't turn out the way you had hoped it would. Okay, your animal wisdom message this month is bluebird energy. Love this because this is about, when I think about bluebird, and I'm specifically thinking about like the mountain bluebird, especially in the winter when it's really with the white snow, these birds stand out. Like they are center stage. You cannot miss them. They are so vibrant and beautiful, and just a beautiful song that they sing as well. And so they are taking center stage. And this month for you all is so much about that. It's about being seen. It's about being heard. It's about having that presence. And that is 8 energy. 8 energy is a presence, right? So this month for you all, take your space, own your space, and speak up for yourself. Go after what you want, call in the reinforcements, do what you need to do. This is your time to shine. Beautiful energy here. And again, be open to things turning out however they are meant to turn out. Don't get derailed by those valleys, because there's always going to be the valleys, but there's always also going to be the peaks. So beautiful energy. Hope it's a great one. Take care, 5s. Bye for now.